When news breaks, the choice is clear. WBZ News Radio 1030.
Hey, we're back. Welcome. Jordan here with you. Inspire you, my guest in this hour. His name is Al Cole. Great voice. And wait till you see those eyes. They actually do exist. And your eyes are deep blue, Paul Newman eyes.
Thank you so much.
Wow.
That is,
man. Al Cole. Now, Al has been very much acclaimed for his work on the radio. It's very popular, and you can check it out. The best way to find out about all this, we're talking about with Al Cole.
Hey, Jordan, thanks for the nod-in that none of the listeners can hear. Best way to find out about all of this is to email me at alcoleholic@gmail.com. That's ALCOLEHOLIC @gmail.com.
and as a result, you are taking the web by storm. Writings, including Romance for Women and much more. But you know what? You're really an old-fashioned kind of guy. You look very hip, but
really
I like that in you. Welcome to the program, and welcome back to CBS microphone.
You got it, Jordan. My pleasure to be here, and it is another CBS microphone for my radio talk show, which is syndicated.
Right.
And it's geared to women.
Women and men coming together and really enjoying their own company, but also having a sense of deep romance.
Yes,
that's something.
Absolutely.
Okay, you want to read a little something from your poetry?
I'd love to.
All right.
Introduction to my book, Romance for Women, so you're going to know where it's coming from here. The power of a woman is magnificent. You don't believe it? And you're a man? Just ask yourself, what kind of life would there be for you without her? The beauty of a woman is undeniable. You don't believe it? And you're a woman? Just look in the mirror, sweetheart. Yes, but remember to look deeply. Something hidden there behind those lovely sad eyes. A little trace of your heritage peeking through, a picture of an angel. An angel who barely remembers the angel that she really is. A woman who can be misunderstood, belittled, and still rise to the foundation of her pedestal. A love thing who can still rise to all of the bittersweet challenges of love. Men are sometimes in over their heads. Sometimes men fear you, beloved. Fear you because we as men, we don't really know you. We really don't know how much you love us for ourselves, not for our silly, fearful macho displays. We simply don't realize how much of a part of us you truly are, and how much you really do pray for us. Pray that we will become in time the kind of men that you know we truly can be. Oh, the ignorance of men. Or as it was once said so very, very long ago, Goddess, forgive them, for they know not what they do.
You realize, you son of a gun, you got women all over America and even beyond. Just listening to your sexy voice going nuts here, that's really well done. That was really cool. You really have an intensity about reminding us that we used to be gentlemen.
Yeah.
And they were ladies.
Yeah.
And there's something courtly about that.
It's in our nature as human beings. I picked it up at a young age, and I've run with it because I believe it. I believe it, Jordan.
No, I do too. I think chivalry is very much in need to be brought back.
Yeah. Women want to still be treated like a lady, and they still want a man in their life that can guide them. Women still need that sort of guidance from a man.
So now you do this, and you're finding what when you open up your phone lines on this radio show around the world? What are you finding?
Women are starving for this.
Women are saying the same thing.
Yeah. They're starving for a guy to tell them that they're worth something in a relationship. What they want to do is tell me about their relationships. Hey, Al, what's going on here with this? This dude, I met him, and we got along so well. And then, a few weeks later, it's, I don't see him as much. And then a few weeks after that, sometimes it turns into some sort of abuse. What's going on? Well, the first question I ask is, where did you meet this guy? In a bar room. In a bar room? Well, what do you expect? You want to meet a guy in an area where you want that relationship to develop from. Well, start going to the right place, honey. You don't want it to develop from gin and Johnny Walker.
Right.
You want it to develop from something on solid ground. So you meet this guy on solid ground.
That is so true, and I love this. I mean, romance is sexy, but it's also deeper than that.
Yeah. One of the keys is respect. Respect is important because respect means that you like that person. Not just love that person, but like that person. Because there's another part of a relationship that's friendship. That should be right out there. Lovers should also be friends. And that's how a relationship stays together, because friends talk. Friends communicate.
And that seems to be an issue, too, with people. Women are pining for that, too, I would imagine.
Women talk about it all the time. Mm-hmm. One of the things that relates to that is women saying, well, I want to support my husband. I want to support my boyfriend. They're talking about emotional support. I can even say spiritual support. So they're ahead of guys, because some guys consider, and this is unfortunate, some guys consider the woman in their life to be a competitor, either a competitor or somebody who is so beneath them that they can just do what the hell they want, and they can even step on this woman, sometimes abuse this woman. When guys start talking support about the woman that they love, not just, sex, not just, hey, she looks good next to me at a business get-together or something, or a Saturday night when I'm with my friends and they say, hey, you got a nice chick. No, when guys start saying, I support my woman, and they don't mean just dollars and cents. They mean mentally, and they mean spiritually, and they mean emotionally. Now women are happy, and we got a good relationship.
You mentioned it earlier, and it's true. Women have their emotional center is usually turned on. I mean, it's proven scientifically.
Yeah. Jordan, what you're talking about, there is a chemical in a woman that is called oxytocin. It is a bonding chemical. As soon as a woman has sex with a guy, this oxytocin is released. It bonds because she might get pregnant. And if she gets pregnant, she's going to want to have that father of that child around to be a good father. She's going to want to have that guy around to be a good husband. So women have this inside of them. And so they can support much more easily. And guys should open up their eyes and say, yeah, I appreciate that about a woman.
And it's interesting, all of the stuff we're talking about with alcohol, pheromones and things floating around in both sexes. But we are wired. There was an interesting piece I read somewhere, an author writing about food and cooking and fire, and the fact that man, I'm saying man in the human sense, has evolved through the ages, and because he and she learned how to cook with fire.
Hey, I'm gonna approach something that you just said, that you were just talking about, and you were kind of flirting with it, but I'm gonna make a point here. You were talking about food. You didn't mean it to say this, but I'm going to say this. We are what we eat, to some extent. People are, this is part of romance, good cuisine. If you got some, couch potato over there, just chomping on chicken all the time and beef and chips and all of this stuff, he's getting fat and he's getting maybe a little bit slovenly or something. Well, it goes to the brain. It goes to the mind, too. You're not on top of it. If you're not exercising the way that you should, you feel lethargic. If you feel lethargic, if you're tired, if you're down and out all the time, man, it's tough to keep up a relationship. There are two people. This gets into something very notable. Middle age. When women hit middle age, actually, they're often running quicker than a guy is. Guys are often running, in the teens and throughout the 20s. They got a lot of testosterone going on. But once they hit 35, 40, 45, they start to slow down. Guys start to suspect themselves. Gee, I'm slowing down. I can't do what I used to do. Man, what's going on here? What's wrong with me? Well, women, they're starting to speed up mentally. They're saying, hey, I want to be something in this world. I want to recapture my dreams. All right, so I had the kids. All right, so I was married, maybe a couple of bad relationships or something. Now I want to discover me. Women are on a discovery trip. And one of the discovery trips is they eat better. And when they eat better, they feel better. When they feel better, they can accomplish more.
I couldn't agree with you more. And to bring everything into balance, your physical has to be in balance so that your mental and spiritual can also be in balance. Do you have people asking you to do their telephone answering machine messages and stuff with that?
Not as much as I'd like. Not as I hear it's very lucrative.
You have a really nice sound. Those of us who are in the business, we can sort of spot it on the radio guy anywhere, but you have a great sound, and you do a lot of really creative things on your radio show, which is literally worldwide. You get calls from around the world?
Every place.
Really?
Yeah, even parts of China.
No kidding.
Yeah, really very, very stimulating.
Women are women, men are men. I mean, I don't care where you are. The same basic structure applies.
Yeah, it really does. And, we live in a world that is getting smaller and smaller. We know that. To make communication between human beings better. All human beings.
Well, I want to thank you for coming by and spending some time with me and our friends throughout the country. Thanks, Al, for coming in.
Thank you, Jordan.
Keep
It's
up the
been my
great work.
pleasure.
All right, we'll be back with more. This is WBZ and WCCO. I'm Jordan. Stick around.